Next at 5:30, the mother of a baby found alone in a crack house goes before a judge to find out if she will be able to take her little boy home.
2 teens are shot to death. Now police want to know if they were targeted or if they were random victims of violence.
Tense moments at New York's JFK airport. A gunman runs onto a plane and terrifies a plane full of people.
Plus, more and more people are turning to pills and creams to improve their looks. But these lifestyle drugs could have lifelong side effects.
With more than 50 years experience serving South Florida, this is WTVJ NBC 6 News.
The mother of a young child found alone in a crack house goes before a judge to find out if she'll get her baby back.
The judge's options: turn the child over to state custody or give her the boy back. NBC 6 reporter Hank Tester is live in Miami with more. Hank?
Well, the little boy still is in state custody, but that soon could be reversed because a judge today said that if the little boy's parents' home passes an inspection, that he'll soon be reunited. Police are out of this case. Let's take a look. Mary Sableville appears in juvenile court. Police, Health and Family Services investigators baffled why the 21-year-old mother of a 2.5-year-old here in Boville has not been seen since her little boy was found in what police described as a crack house. The apartment's occupant was away in Haiti for some months. While he was gone, teenagers used the location to smoke dope, hang out. Police were called to flush out the gang. They fled, but little Caron was left abandoned. Mary Sableville has 3 children. 2 stayed with her mother. The little boy was, for some reason, in the care of a teenage babysitter who wound up with the gang in the crack house. The grandmother was shocked to see the little boy on TV and can't believe the babysitter would do such a thing.
Take care of my child for me. My 2 little twins I have, they sleep with her, by her house. I don't know what has happened now.
Despite his exposure to the drug atmosphere, the little boy seemed well cared for, but the state had concern.
We have a concern how the child ended up alone at a crack house. The mother could not be found for hours.
Questions about how hard the state and police attempted to contact the mother. Then, juvenile court judge Cindy Letterman ordered the Department of Children and Family Services to conduct a survey of the home. If it's found to be okay, the little boy will be returned to his mother. Now back live, the judge has scheduled another hearing in this situation, in this case, September the 15th. Reporting live, Hank Tester, NBC 6, back to you.
Once again, gun violence has claimed 2 young lives in South Florida. This time, 2 teenagers are the casualties in a drive-by shooting that happened early this morning in North Miami-Dade. At this hour, the search for a suspect or suspects goes on. Ed Odell joins us live from Miami-Dade Police Headquarters with this story. Ed?
Well, Michael, right now, actually, the police are still searching for a motive. They haven't figured out why this shooting went down. In fact, right now, they're dealing with some conflicting stories. Let's show you some tape of the scene around 93rd Street and 23rd Avenue last night. This is where Robert Blake, age 15, and Ladarius Byers, age 18, according to police, were shot and killed. Apparently, they were standing out in front of this residence, and someone started shooting at them. 2 got away. They came back and found the 2 dead. Now, this is where the stories begin to conflict about how the shooting went down.
Well, we have conflict in statements, for one thing. We've been advised that there was a dark vehicle involved, and then you have other witnesses saying they didn't observe a vehicle. So obviously, these are some things that the investigators have to sort out.
So we don't know if it was a drive-by or someone walked up. Right now, they are, again, still talking to the family members of both these victims and talking to any witnesses that they can to try and find out, first of all, why these 2 young men, teenagers who apparently went to high school together at Central High, were shot and killed last night. Reporting live from West Miami-Dade, Ed Odell, NBC 6.
Word from overseas now. 2 Cuban doctors will finally reach the United States after spending a month being detained in Zimbabwe. The 2 defected while in Zimbabwe in April as part of Cuba's medical aid program for developing countries. Leonel Rodriguez and Norris Martinez have been cleared finally to travel to the U.S., and they are expected to arrive here sometime next week. No final word yet, though, on whether they're coming straight to Miami. Well, French officials are making their strongest statement to date about the cause of the Concorde crash this week.
France's transport minister says a burst tire may have caused damage to an engine, leading to the fire and mechanical failure that appears to have caused the fatal crash. And we're learning U.S. safety inspectors warned French officials about problems with the Concorde's tires nearly 20 years ago after tires blew on 3 different planes during takeoff. At that time, French officials said they would implement the U.S.'s recommendations. Meanwhile, people in the town of Gonesse took to the streets in a silent march in memory of the victims. This moving tribute came on a day when another victim was found in the charred rubble of the hotel. That person has not yet been identified. Residents who took part in today's march are letting lawmakers know they're not happy with the increase in flights from Charles de Gaulle Airport over the past 30 years.
Here at home, a gunman who took hostages aboard a passenger jet at New York's Kennedy Airport surrendered this morning. His standoff with police ended without a shot being fired, but not before terrifying a plane full of people. NBC's Chris Clackham has our story.
Any comments?
The list of charges against 22-year-old New York native Aaron Comey could very well be a long list because he's accused of doing so much.
We are still looking as to what federal charges will be lodged. There's the potential of crime aboard an aircraft or skyjacking.
Just before 10:30 Thursday night, a man pulled a gun on guards at a security checkpoint at New York's JFK Airport and ran onto a National Airlines jet headed to Las Vegas, crowded with passengers.
We were sitting in first class at the time, and he stormed right by us, and we saw the pistol, and at first we kind of got stuck, and then he stormed into the cockpit.
Some of the 150 on board managed to get off the jet as soon as they saw what was happening.
I looked over, saw a pistol that must have been 6 or 8 inches long in his hand, and I just slowly, quietly turned around and walked right back off the plane.
The gunman eventually released all the passengers, but kept the pilot hostage, the gun pointed at his head. After releasing him, though, the gunman then started with demands.
The only reason that we have at this time, as I stated earlier, he thought he was boarding an international flight and that he wanted to go to a country in South America.
The standoff ended early Friday morning, 5 hours after it started. Comey, who's described by his father as maybe having mental problems, surrendered peacefully. Chris Clackham, NBC News.
Famed attorneys Johnny Cochran and Willie Gary have agreed to represent the relatives of a hostage fatally shot in Central Florida by a police sniper.
Andrea Hall was killed Sunday when a police sniper's bullet intended for her captor, Jamie Dean Patron, struck her. Patron killed himself Monday, 51 hours after taking Andrea Hall and 4 children hostage. Cochran was a leader of the legal dream team, if you'll recall, during O.J. Simpson's double murder trial. Gary last month joined Cochran in bringing a $1.5 billion race bias lawsuit against Coca-Cola on behalf of 4 women. A couple wanted in the slaying of a fellow guest who appeared on the Jerry Springer Show is behind bars in Sarasota tonight. Ralph and Eleanor Panitz are wanted in the slaying of Panitz's ex-wife, Nancy Campbell Panitz. A judge in Sarasota ordered that Ralph Panitz be held without bond. He's charged with first-degree murder. Eleanor Panitz was arrested on a warrant that seeks her as a witness. Ralph's ex-wife, Nancy, was found Monday night near her home. She'd been beaten to death.
We want for you now to check the commute home. The Metro traffic helicopter is flying, and Karen Curtis has that look for you. Karen?
Yeah, we have a good look here at the Palmetto Expressway through the construction zone, making some progress there, but little progress being made right on the roadway, trying to get home in this Friday night. A crash with EMS in the scene on the Palmetto Expressway, heading northbound at 74th Street, a little bit south of the Metro chopper there, which is on the approach to I-75. It's at 122. You can see how tough it is in both directions. Also have an accident just reported southbound on the Turnpike at US 1. On the Dolphin Expressway, heading out there, well, let's look at 95 out of the downtown area. Not bad there on the right side of your screen southbound, but northbound is your steady ride all the way from the Airport Expressway into the Golden Glades with a crash on the Airport Expressway westbound at 12th Avenue. Dolphin Expressway heading there's by the Red Road curve, very heavy past the airport all the way out toward the Turnpike. No reports of any crashes there, just one 107th Avenue south of the Dolphin is blocking some lanes with EMS on the scene. And in Broward County, new accident just happened southbound Turnpike at Sample, another one southbound 95 at Hillsborough Boulevard. More traffic coming up in the 6 o'clock show. That wraps it up here. Back to you.
A new era of public safety begins today. The brand new Miami-Dade Emergency Operations Center is up and running.
And now this is the place you'll see on TV when there's a hurricane threatening South Florida. The new 22,000 square foot facility replaces the old, outdated cramped DOC. The new place features enough room to keep all the county departments in one room, connected by computers, instead of being spread all over the county. The fire chief says this means better service for everyone.
Anytime that we can do a better job when we have a disaster impinging on this county, then that obviously makes the public safer. If we can function better, then we can do a better job of protecting them and keeping them informed.
The new EOC is part of the new Fire Administration building. Today, a memorial statue to firefighters who died in the line of duty was unveiled. It sits in front of the building.
And today's opening in the new EOC certainly a reminder of all the great work they do for us.
They really do.
All year round. Well, more and more people, as we talk about some medical news, are using creams and pills to improve the way they look.
But these lifestyle drugs may have side effects, and you may not be aware of them. Other family reporter Diana Gonzalez will tell you what to watch out for.
I'm Andrea Brody. Ladies and gentlemen, start your credit cards. Tax-free shopping week begins in the morning, but you'll need a guide for this one. The rules of the shopping game just ahead. And he's only 15 years old, but he's a long rap sheet, dozens of burglaries, and even set a house on fire. Will he be able to go home today? I'm Monica Morales. Out that story coming up live.
And later in our broadcast, a goodbye to a place we have called home for the past 51 years. We'll be right back.
The only station with more than 50 years experience covering South Florida hurricanes is also the station with the most extensive network of media partners.
Stormwatch 2000.
Print.
The Herald. El Nuevo Herald.
Radio.
Mega 1035. News Radio 610. Mix 94 FM. Keys Talk 1300 AM.
Television.
WB 39. Pax 35. Web.
And the net.
NBC6.net.
Make NBC6 and its media partners your only choice this hurricane season.
NBC6 News is brought to you in part by Marooney. When you need a car, call Marooney. 1-877-MAROONEY.
There's one over there, Dad.
I can get us closer.
Look, we're missing the fireworks.
I can get closer.
There's a spot.
We're going to get a little bit closer. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Now we're getting somewhere. VIP. How's that?
You need a car? We'll show you the way. Marooney, the best price, guaranteed. When you need a car, you need Marooney.
Should we call Mom?
There's something new, real cool, everything from back to school. Shop shopping, you're shopping across. Great brands for kids and teens, tees to cargos, lots of jeans. Shopping, you're shopping across. Classes start, summer ends, look great, impress your friends. Shop shopping, you're shopping across. One place to go, everything is priced so low. Shop shopping, you're shopping across.
At Ross, you'll save up to 65% every day.
There's always something new when you're shopping at Ross.
Around here, the sun is never hotter and the fun is never greater than now during the Jeep Sensational Summer Event, where you can get Grand Cherokee Laredo with 5.9% financing for up to $2,800 in savings. Or choose up to $4,500 in total values if you're a returning Daimler Chrysler lessee. But you'd better hurry, because even though the fun will stick around, the Sensational Summer Event won't.
See your South Florida Chrysler, Plymouth, and Jeep dealer.
Well, if you were at any of the malls today, it may have seemed a little emptier than usual. That's because at midnight tonight, Floridians will be able to buy clothes tax-free, so they're waiting for that moment.
That's right. Back-to-school shopping will be less than taxing this week. But as Andrea Brody reports, there are some ground rules to tax-free shopping.
Turn to BC.
A blur of plaid, solid, and activity. At iBlue school uniforms, the day before fills an entire warehouse.
And I'm going to get the khaki shorts.
And empties an entire showroom. A lone mother roams the aisles, fearing what is now just hours away.
I hate crowd places, and I'm just avoiding all that. I don't have the time.
This will be the sound heard throughout the week ahead, beginning midnight Friday. For the third year in a row, Floridians won't pay state or local sales tax on many wearable items. It is a week that leaves merchants blissful and incredibly busy.
Thanks God, yes. Enough business to pay for the bills of the entire year, I would say.
That busy.
That busy.
These chains went up today, and by opening tomorrow, the people will loop even beyond them. Also here at the registers, every single one will read open.
And I hope that tomorrow is going to be one of those days. I just think that's great.
Small business owners also prepare for the onslaught, but not everything will be tax-free. Here, the precious yes, the python no. The rule, most clothing under $100 carries the break. That's a discount on every eligible item, not off the total, so the savings adds up. How much right now do you love your Uncle Sam?
Why, very much.
If the idea of this floor packed with people frightens you, there is an option that is getting better each year, the Internet. As long as you ship your purchases to Florida, they can be yours tax-free from home. In Aventura, Andrea Brody, NBC6. And if you want to know more about Tax-Free Week, log on to our website at NBC6.net. There you will find a list of what is tax-free and what is not. And I'm making my list right here. What do I need?
Let the purchases begin.
That's right.
It's right around the corner for all of us and the youngsters.
Well, many people are taking pills or using creams to improve the way they look.
The use of lifestyle drugs is on the rise, but there may be irreversible risks that people are not aware of.
Plus, do babies feel pain? For years, doctors didn't think so, but that might be changing.
Good evening, I'm meteorologist Trina Robinson. There could be some changes in the forecast. I'll tell you all about it when we come back. You'll want to stay with us.
NBC6 News is brought to you in part by World Ford. Our world revolves around you.
It's 95, burning hot, and time for Summer of Fordathon at World Ford. Prices are sizzling on every car, truck, van, and SUV. Drive home in a four-door Explorer, a real value at just $21,950. Fully loaded with many extras. Automatic transmission, cassette and CD player, keyless entry, privacy glass, cruise control, tilt steering, and more. Just $21,950. Prices are hot during Summer of Fordathon, only at World Ford. 3 locations, Kendall, Homestead, and Pembroke Pines.
Brandsburg USA is having a huge Christmas and July sale. You don't have to wait till December. Save now on products like GE's 27-inch remote stereo TV, just $218.88. White Westinghouse by Refrigerators 13 cubic foot no frost refrigerator, just $268.88. Get a sharp 300 kilowatt 3-disc digital tuner system with remote, just $148.88. Compact's 566 megahertz Intel Celeron processor includes a 15-inch compact monitor, color printer, and a Vivitar digital camera, all for $98.88 after rebate. Some restrictions apply. See stores or newspaper ads for more details and huge savings.
This is a moment in history when we have the chance to focus on tough problems. It's not always popular to say our children can't read, or Social Security needs improving, or we have a budget surplus and a deficit in values. But those are the right things to say. And the right way to make America better for everyone is to be bold and decisive, to unite instead of divide. Now is the time to do the hard things.
You trained for this. You're ready for this. You're the best. Now go out there and show them what you got.
It's not just a store. It's the biggest game in town. Just for Feet has more of everything. More to see, more to do. More brands, more styles. And for a limited time, save 20 to 40% on selected basketball, running, and training shoes for men, women, and children. Only at Just for Feet.
Live, real-time stock information. Seen only on NBC6. Brought to you by Trivergent.
Here's a question that has baffled doctors for years. Do babies feel pain? For years, doctors didn't think so. But now a study by the National Institutes of Health concludes they do feel pain and become more sensitive to it as they get older. Researchers say the pain causes the developing nervous system to grow more nerve cells. Researchers say they have to be careful about drawing conclusions about people, but say in the past, lab rats, which were used in this study, have been very valid for predicting responses in humans.
Still on the medical front this day, have you ever thought of taking a pill or using a cream to grow hair or get rid of those unwanted wrinkles? If so, you're certainly not alone.
Prescriptions for so-called lifestyle drugs are on the rise. But NBC6 Health and Family reporter Diana Gonzalez says they are not without risks. Diana?
The medications are called lifestyle drugs because they're not considered medically necessary. But before you take a pill to improve your quality of life, there are things you should know.
Hello, it's CCAT.
Jackie Anderson takes Propecia, a daily oral medication to hold off baldness.
I've been here. I had been here when I was still in high school, so I wanted to stop it.
Anderson feels the medication is worth the expense and says he's had no side effects.
I think it works. My friends have noticed, at least, that it works.
Pharmacies are filling more and more of these so-called lifestyle drugs, but experts worry we're taking these drugs way too lightly.
They are drugs. They have their own potentials for dangerous and side effects.
Pharmacies are filling more and more of these so-called lifestyle drugs, but experts worry we're taking these drugs way too lightly.
It's okay to be a bit skeptical.
The experts say every drug should be thoroughly discussed with your physician and pharmacist. And they say most important, don't buy into all the advertising.
Many of the advertising campaigns capitalize on all of our insecurities.
And take it with a grain of salt. Realize that the drug companies are trying to make money. They're trying to pay for all of that expensive research.
Another important tip, because of side effects, don't ever share any medication with another person, no matter how safe it may seem. Michael and Jackie?
That's some good advice. Many people do that.
Diana, thank you very much, as always. Now, time to take a look at your weekend weather. It's been rainy this week.
It sure has been, and very hot. Here's Trina Robinson with more.
Yeah, it's been steamy hot. The humidity's been high, but not such a bad week if you can get past the rain. Got some clouds out there right now. We could have a few showers tonight, but nothing too heavy. I think all in all it's going to be not a bad weekend, but do expect a little bit of rain. There is a fly in the ointment. Let's get into this forecast and check out your Florida radar and see exactly where the rain is. Radar showing rain mostly on the west coast. Really, the west coast sea breeze is the one that's kicked into action. So everything's kind of blowing away from us for right now, but we could have some showers later on tonight. Let's move on and check out your southeast satellite and see how things are looking as we move on up the coast. Got some clouds and showers, and maybe areas like, Georgia into Alabama and the Carolinas could get some rain out of a stalled out system that's been sitting just over the area. As we move on and check out your eastern satellite and take a bigger picture look at things, all up the eastern seaboard, they've had clouds and rain. Really, another system is right behind that, so they could get another dousing really over the weekend into the first part of the week. As you look around, really the Great Lakes, big storm system really just hammering Detroit, giving them some rain. Your national satellite picture looks like this. As we move out to the west, things pretty clear. The only thing you have to talk about out there is way out to the west, near Hawaii. We've had Hurricane Daniel, which is about a Category 3 storm. Hopefully it'll diminish as it hits that area, though. All right, as we look at the tropics closer to home, we do have a little area of thunder showers, convection, moving basically off the coast of Africa, but we don't expect development out of that system as of right now. But we'll keep you posted on that as we move through town. So let's look at things as we look at our low temperatures around the nation. Look at that, 60s, 50s up in the plains. Very cool. Nothing like that for us. Texas into a big cool-off tonight as you move into the nighttime hours. As we move out to the Pacific Northwest, not too bad as well. Your high temperatures look like this. 80s and 90s really around the southeast and down into Florida in our neck of the woods. Over in Louisiana, 90s as well as we move on up to like Missouri, hot as well, but they still have had lots of rain out of a couple of systems that have moved through that neck of the woods. Let's get on into things and check out the forecast. So tonight it's going to look like this. If you're heading out to do a little bit of partying on South Beach, expect a few showers possible. Low temperature about 78 degrees. As we move into tomorrow, that's where things get a little bit dicey because we have that upper level low we talked about yesterday that could bring us some storms likely. High temperature tomorrow, 88 degrees. That's your forecast. Let's go back to Jackie and Michael.
Okay, Trina, thank you very much. And if you are heading down to the Keys, we'd like to tell you that an 18-mile stretch of US 1 has been closed.
We are talking about that stretch between Florida City. If you keep heading south out of Florida City, heading down to Key Largo, it's that 18-mile stretch that so many of you are familiar with. We are told there has been a fatal accident along that stretch of highway, and so right now traffic is very much backed up there. Now, we understand Card Sound Road remains open, but if you're heading to the Keys, take time to check ahead before you start heading that way because traffic again backed up on the 18-mile stretch between Key Largo and Florida City.
Still ahead on NBC 6, a teen who's accused of terrorizing one South Florida neighborhood will remain behind bars. Coming up at 6, we'll show you what he's accused of doing.
Plus, we will show you how the grandson of a former president is taking on a very high-profile role.
And inside Sync rocks Rockefeller Center. NBC 6 News at 5:30. We'll be right back.
NBC 6 News is brought to you in part by National Airlines.
Where's the car, dear?
I think it's over here. Parked it over there, so.
Over there?
Yeah.
All right.
But it's not there. I lost the car. I can't believe I lost the car.
Where did you leave it last?
No. I can't believe I lost the car.
You need a car? We'll show you the way. Marooney, the biggest selection of cars and trucks. When you need a car, you need Marooney.
Harry, we're going to need that car.
Tax-free week at Burlington Coat Factory is a great time to shop for back to school. We don't limit you to items of $100 or less. Buy as much fine clothing and shoes as you want and deduct an amount equal to the sales tax charged on your receipt. And right now, save an extra 25 to 40% off our lowest ticketed prices on select women's and men's summer fashions. Remember, there's no $100 limit during tax-free week at Burlington Coat Factory. We're more than great coats.
This is a court-ordered legal announcement. If you have or have had a life insurance policy of $2,000 or less, a burial, health, or similar type of insurance policy from Equitable Life Insurance Company, Gulf Life, Home Beneficial Life, Home States Life, Independent Life and Accident, Interstate Life, Knights Life, Life and Casualty, National Life and Accident, and other companies owned by American General Life and Accident, you may be entitled to benefits in the settlement of a class action lawsuit. For complete information on the settlement and your legal rights, call 1-800-681-4944.
Around here, the sun is never hotter and the fun is never greater than now during the Jeep Sensational Summer Event, where you can get Grand Cherokee Laredo with 5.9% financing for up to $2,800 in savings. Or choose up to $4,500 in total values if you're a returning Daimler Chrysler lessee. But you'd better hurry, because even though the fun will stick around, the Sensational Summer Event won't.
See your South Florida Chrysler, Plymouth, and Jeep dealer.
Well, the Big Apple was more like a big party this morning as singing sensation NSYNC performed before a crowd of 15,000.
Boy, a big crowd and a big happy one. The group moved fans on the Today Show Plaza with several songs, including their hit, Bye Bye Bye.
I enjoy their music.
Quick reminder for you about all the ways you can stay tuned to NBC6.
If you don't have cable, you can still watch us. Of course, we're on channels 19 and 58 on the internet. Keep informed by logging on to NBC6.net. And if you have direct satellite TV, check out channel 989.
Or you can listen to us on the radio at 87.7 on the FM dial.
Much more news ahead here on NBC6.
The news at 6 begins right now. Up next at 6, a teen who some residents say is a menace to society learns that he will leave jail early. We're live on that.
2 teens are shot to death right in the middle of a South Florida street tonight. The search is on for who may have done it.
A man storms a commercial passenger jet and holds hostages, causing some new questions to emerge about airport security.
And we are just hours away from our debut from our new regional headquarters at NBC6. Tonight, a look back at WTVJ legacy. The news at 6 starts right now.
With more than 50 years experience serving South Florida, this is WTVJ NBC 6 News.